Welcome to Hornbill TV. Moilishin Chastia say, Olabdin aged Nagaland government special investigation team Kanpra, Oting killings opera preliminary report, state sarkar ke submit kushe. Special investigation team pra ajay press conference lobala say, Oting laga gatna opor, kude December 4 din the Indian Army botched operation de 21 para special forces Kanpra 13 civilians kanke morai dishe. Utu gatna pichede state government pra utu gatna opor investigation krobole nimte SIT set up kurishe. IB itia utu press conference laga live coverage sabo.
Investigation team, which was headed by Shri Limasanat Zamir, IPS IGP range, as the Chief Investigating Officer. And in that order, Ms. Rupa, DIG CID, Manoj Kumar, SP Crime, and 2 more officers were included, with the option that as and when required, the SIT can co-opt more officers. In that order, the government had asked the SIT to complete its investigation within 1 month and submit its report. As a result of that SIT, the case initially which was registered in Visit Police Station was transferred to State Crime Police Station in Kohima, and a new FIR was registered under section 302, 307 and 34 IPC. While conducting the investigation, as we went into the investigation, we co-opted more officers, and ultimately SIT was made up of 21 officers, which included IGP range as Chief IO, 1 DIG rank officer, almost 4 SP rank officers, 2 deputy commandants, and so on and so forth, including 4 officers from Konya community. In order to conduct the investigation in a professional manner, which will cover all aspects of the offence, and which will also go into all details of how the operation was conducted by the army, the circumstances of conducting the operations, etc. The SIT was further divided into 8 teams, out of which 4 teams were given the task of examination of witnesses, the injured victims at various places, be it at Mon, Dimapur, Dibrugarh, the other witnesses in the forms of doctors, the villagers, etc. 1 team was tasked with the responsibility of cyber and technical analysis of relevant technical and electronic evidences. 1 team at police headquarters under the supervision of DIG CID was tasked with compilation of the documents. As you can understand, there will be a lot of documentation, and since it's a legal procedure, documentation is essential. 1 team was asked to purely study the scene of crime, reconstruct the crime that had occurred, collect the material exhibits and evidences from the scene of crime, compile it and send it for forensic analysis. And 1 team was tasked with the task of coordinating with various forensic science laboratories, be it Central Forensic Science Laboratory or be it NELIT in Kohima. So this way we started our investigation and the procedure. In last 1 month, more than 1 month, the SIT has visited the scene of crime on multiple occasions, In fact, one team under one SP rank officer was tasked to stay there for almost more than 15-20 days and to examine and study the entire scene of crime from multiple angles, collect the evidences, reconstruct the events, simulate the various possibilities in which the crime would have taken place. We have collected lot of material evidence in the form of empty ammunitions. We have collected some other exhibits from the scene of crime which were taken over by the SIT from the possessions of the villagers in Oting village. A media appeal was made, a general appeal was made that any individual who was in possession of any original video or audio should be shared with the investigation team, and accordingly we have identified and collected few videos which were original in nature, not forwarded. After following due legal procedure, those evidences are taken on record and currently under cyber forensic analysis. We had also requested a team of 4 senior forensic scientific analysts from Central Forensic Science Laboratory, Guwahati and Hyderabad to come visit the scene of crime, reconstruct the entire events, examine various possibilities, and accordingly a team of CFSL from Guwahati and Hyderabad visited the scene of crime on 21st of December. They were there for 2 days, and after completing their analysis, they have forwarded the exhibits, the soil samples, the blood samples, the ammunitions, etc. to the CFSL labs in Guwahati and Hyderabad, and we are awaiting the reports from them. Similarly, the videos which were collected, extracted from the original source, are under currently the cyber forensic analysis, and we are awaiting the results. In the process of investigation, the SIT has examined 85 plus civilian witnesses, which included the injured people at Mon, Dimapur and Dibrugarh, which also included various villagers, various officials from government, the drivers, etc. We issued notices under section 91 to the army officials for collection of the important documents. We have received the information from army on multiple questions that we had asked. It's still in process. After collecting those documents and after collecting the names and details of the personnel who were part of the operations, we had issued summons under section 160 CRPC, and accordingly till date we have examined 37 various officers and other ranks of Army and Assam Rifles. Those statements have been recorded and they are a part of the record now. We have also recorded 2 statements of the surviving victims under section 164, that is statement to the judicial officer, and those are also a part of report now. As of now, this is the progress of the investigation, that I can say that by and large the field investigation in the form of recording of the statements of the witnesses, victims, etc. are over. The cyber forensics which were supposed to be done is under process now. We had collected multiple CDRs also of multiple phone numbers. CDR analysis is also by and large over. On the basis of the CDR analysis, further statements of other people were supposed to be recorded. Those are, a lot of them are completed, some of them will be completed very soon. So as of now, this is the position of the investigation. We are awaiting the result from the Forensic Science Lab from Guwahati and Hyderabad and from Millet, Kohima. As soon as we receive these reports, which are very crucial reports, we would be in a position to start preparing the final report, which would be submitted to the honorable court, competent court. As you can aware that criminal investigation is a technical legal procedure which is carried out under various provisions of CRPC, Chapter 12 of the CRPC. And once we complete the investigation, the final report will be submitted to the competent court, that is the special court, MON. FIR is submitted to. So this is what my initial preliminary sharing of the information. I am open for questions. In case if you wish to have any questions, I'll be more than glad to do that. Thank you so much. Thanks once again for coming at such a short duration.
Sir, some organizations have demanded for to make the investigation report public. Is it legal to do so?
See, FIR is registered under the provisions of the CRPC, section 154. Once the FIR is registered, it is submitted to the court of law. The result of the investigation, in any form, an investigating agency is supposed to share only with the court of law. So, putting it out in the public domain at this stage, when the investigation is not completed, I think is not legally tenable.
So how many days are you expecting for the forensic reports to be out? And since the time frame was only for a month, 30 days, and that has been lapsed, so just approximately how long will it take?
In fact, as I can say, the SIT has worked overtime last 1 month at multiple locations, not only at Mon, but at various locations in Assam, in Dimapur, and a lot of other places. And I can say that we have worked against the time to complete the stage of investigation that we are in now. It would be very difficult for us to say how much time the FSL labs will take to complete the investigation, to submit the reports of the forensic analysis. One SP rank officer is constantly following up with the various forensic science lab. We have made a special request to them that looking at the sensitivity of the case, their scientific analysis be expedited and shared with the investigating team as soon as possible, so that we come to a final conclusion and a final investigation report be submitted to the Honorable Court of Law.
So also this is the first time that we are witnessing that the Army had actually allowed a state investigating team to investigate, to take statements from the Jawans. What has been the progress there? I mean, can you give us throw some light on that?
I can say that the Army personnels, including the Assam Rifles personnels, have been cooperative with the SIT. And all those documents and other information that we have asked have been shared with the SIT. As far as examination of the persons are concerned, as I said, we have issued summons in the 160 CRPC for their examination. We have examined them, which included the actual operation team, which had conducted the operation at Oting on 4th December 2021, which was led by a major rank officer, 2 GCOs and remaining others. It was 31. 28 others, in all 31.
Yes.
In all 31 officials which had participated in the operation team. Besides that, we have also examined few other officers, in all 37, both from Army and Assam Rifle, wherein one CO rank officer has been examined, one brigadier rank officer has been examined, and one other major rank officer has been examined. However, I would want to say this, that this was the examination, as you can understand and appreciate. Criminal investigation follows certain procedures laid down in the Criminal Procedure Code, and we have to follow the guidelines which have been already established as a principle of natural justice. We need to take into account all sides of all versions of all aspects of the case, and accordingly we have examined these officials. If required, after we receive the forensic analysis reports and other corroborative reports, if required, they will be asked to cooperate and join investigation again.
So when you say that you recorded the statements of these 37
Army and Assam
Army and
Rifle.
Assam Rifles personnel,
Yeah.
were their statements pre-recorded or?
No, their statements not pre-recorded. We actually examined them. We examined them on the basis of the evidences which were available with them. I understand there was some kind of report in the media saying that they were supposed to give a pre-recorded written statement. That's not the case. We have examined them.
Sir, also, as per the meeting between the Chief Minister and the Union Prime Minister, he had assured that all those who were involved in will be suspended. So while you were investigating, were they under suspension? What is the status?
I will not comment on the aspect of what exactly has been happened with the meeting of the Honorable UHM and the Honorable CM. That's something beyond the purview of the SIT. I can say that during the course of investigation, the operational team which conducted the operations, that is of 21 para special forces, have been attached to their court of inquiry. I will not want to say if they are placed under suspension or not, because suspension per se is a civil term. I do not know if there is a parallel term in army that is being used in suspension. So it would be premature for me to say. But as of now, as per our investigation, they are attached to the court of inquiry.
I'm not drawing any conclusions, but what has been your major finding? Can you say something on that?
I wish Narayan, I can share the major findings here, but as I said, for any investigation, ongoing investigation, the investigation team is answerable to the Honorable Court of Law. So, sharing a hypothesis here or any guesses will not be appropriate at this stage. I can say that we have collected sizable amount of documentary evidence. Based on those documentary evidences, we have examined all those members who were a part of the operation which was held on 4th December and senior officers as well. We have collected good physical exhibits as well. It's a matter of now reports on the forensic science laboratories that will come to us, which would be corroborative piece of evidences, which would be circumstantial pieces of evidences. But findings is something which will come in the final report, which will be placed to the Honorable Court of Law. Once, as you all learned people, you would be aware, once a police report under section 173 of the CRPC in the form of a charge sheet or otherwise is placed in the court of law, it's a public domain, then I think you all will have access to that. I'll be glad if there are some more questions on this. I know it's quite late in the evening, but nevertheless.
Ensure you invite us again once you submit your final report.
Definitely. As the final investigation report is ready and we have submitted it to the court of law, as I was saying, I definitely understand your eagerness, but you have to understand the legal and procedural compulsions also on our part. I'm sure that similar to the SIT and the entire department and the entire state, I'm sure all of you also would want to have a professional investigation which can stand all legal scrutinies at various hierarchy of the courts of law. Since we are functioning under a very vibrant criminal justice system, main motive of the SIT is that the investigation is conducted in as professional manner as possible, so that we are ready to these evidences can stand intense legal scrutiny at any court of law. That has been our guiding principle since day one.
So we can safely conclude that you are only waiting for the forensic science report.
Primarily so. But as I can say, investigation cannot be said as black and white. Like we receive the forensic science lab, and if some new aspects come out of it, and if it requires further examination of some other people, then we would be required, because then it would be a very incomplete report. As per the evidentiary value, the primary evidence would always be a statement given by an individual. The forensic science evidences, the scientific evidences are crucial piece of corroboration, irrefutable evidences, but it has to be backed up by primary witnesses. So, primarily I agree with you that we are waiting for the outcome of this forensic analysis. Once we receive that, if required, we will be examining or interrogating some more people as it requires.
Sir, when did the actual investigation on the field happen?
Sorry?
The actual investigation on the field, when did it happen?
Oh, this started as soon as the SIT was constituted on the 5th of December, and we expanded the SIT. The works were distributed, as I mentioned, there were 8 teams. All these teams were headed by a SP or Deputy Commandant Officer, and all these teams were further given at least 3 to 4 officers in the rank of inspectors and DSIs. And they started the job the same day. The Chief Investigating Officer, Mr. Limasan Examine, was in station and camping in Mon and in the area from 5th of December till 23rd of December. Along with the Chief IO, at least 4 other SP rank officers were camping there almost, as I said, from 5th December till 23rd December. And some teams were sent to Assam for recording statements of various persons. One team was based in Dimapur for recording those statements from the injured people. So basically it was a very well planned out investigation, so that we would be able to be well aware of the timeline that was given to us. And as I said, we tried our best to do that. By and large, the investigation in the form of collection of the exhibits, in the form of collection of the documents, in the form of recording of the statements is over. Pending the reports from the forensic lab, we should be able to complete submission of our final report.
Sir, just out of curiosity, the vehicles that were burned and other evidences that had the crime scene do not enter thing, is it still intact there or it has been removed now?
still there. It's still there. Why? It's still there. Why? Because, as I said, the team of forensic science scientists had come. They reconstructed the whole scene, what has happened. They collected the blood, soil, and other samples. And once we receive the report, there may be a requirement that we again reconstruct the scene, maybe this time along with the army officers. We need to come up with that. The scientific investigation will require a lot of aspects which require to the gradient, the topography, the aspects of the speed of the vehicle, so on and so forth. A lot of things are already being discussed in the social media. But you need to understand one thing. A lot of people have asked me that why it should take so much of time for completing the investigation. When everybody knows what has happened. Please understand, what everybody is aware of is the information. The criminal justice system doesn't work on information, it works on the basis of evidence. So converting this information into a legally acceptable evidences is investigation, which is not easy a lot of times. And as I was saying, at the cost of repetition, our effort in SIT has been to ensure that we need to have a professional investigation in the form of evidences which will stand all kind of legal scrutiny at the highest court of law. As a responsible member of the media, you, I'm sure, are aware of similar instances earlier in the past, wherein the officials or the men of the army or the paramilitary or the armed forces were accused of similar kind of instances. So we need to ensure that the investigation is totally professional and depending purely on the legal evidence. Any more questions? Yeah, then maybe I can also have a cup of tea. Somebody can offer me a cup of tea now. Just now speaking, not part of. I've been a part of multiple investigations. In my previous tenure in the CBI also, both monitor investigations and so on and so forth. And investigation of this kind of nature are very complex. I must say that the officers in SIT and other police officers.
Yeah, it's over there. Over.
Duties which were assigned to them have been done very professionally.
To live coverage thagishe special investigation team kanpra aji Kohima de udu 13 civilians khange Oting district de 21 para military forces kanpa muraidiala press conference lala thagishe tare press briefing de tan ba junai dishe ki alak tan utu investigation jatam de alak manula witnesses hana statements han record korishe aro phone numbers han bi lwa junai she aro the investigation do kimantok jawa koni khudia de tan itebi utu do kole na pare aro eku conclusion utu tan ityatok aha de eku conclusion anishna naina ahishna nai kwa de tan koshe ke ita investigation to itebi jase itkarne eku kobole na paro koni junai dishi to tu thagishe itya garne mani hubo aro alak khobor karne sai thakbi Hornbill TV